Hello everyone, my name is Erin Sinogba and I'm a 26-year-old third culture kid who has lived in South Korea, the Philippines, Grenada, and the United States. I am currently living here in the Philippines and I have been called to address the issue of belonging. So I've been asked, why do I care about the idea or the issue of belonging, and why should we be reaching out to others? As a child growing up in multiple international, local, and socio-economic cultural settings, I struggled with the idea of where to belong. I didn't feel like I fit in with most people I associated with because I never felt Filipino enough, rich enough, and on some levels, like I was even TCK enough. All I knew was that I was just me, the Filipina who had lived abroad for half of her life, couldn't relate to her extended family, and attended the international school her family couldn't afford just so she could fit in. And I tried my best to survive and get along with everyone as best as I could. As I grew older, I learned that trying to belong was more than just trying to get along with others. As I met new people and developed stronger relationships with my closest friends, I learned that I really wanted to find others who would accept me as I am, every imperfect, weird, and complicated part of me, and regardless of whether they could relate or understand. I am glad to say that I found that. I am also proud to say that I continue to strive for this every day, especially after I started working in the Philippines, my passport country, a year and a half ago. It hasn't been easy. Many of my fellow coworkers still cannot comprehend how different I am and why I am the way I am. But not all. I am glad to say that I have found acceptance, even as it continues to be a struggle. I'm glad to say I belong. In the book Third Culture Kids by Pollock and Van Recken, two very important needs are cited as key to leading fulfilling lives. On page 147, in the chapter titled Developmental Issues, those two needs are a need for strong relationships and a sense of belonging. These two needs are interconnected. Strong relationships are built upon a secure sense of belonging. Conversely, a sense of belonging is essential to building strong and healthy relationships. On page 148, it says that a sense of belonging gives us the freedom we need to continue developing rather than having to repeat the basics constantly. Without that security, it seems we almost go in circles, continually repeating the same lessons of life rather than moving on to new ones. We can then conclude that a sense of belonging is an essential part of our development as individuals and by extension as a community. We may have a group of people, like third culture kids, who self-identify as someone who do not belong anywhere. We are saying that it is okay that there are people who don't feel secure, who are trapped in the same ever-turning circles of their lives, and who feel that they cannot continue growing. The truth is, though, it isn't okay. Every human being should have access to that sense of security and should have that ability to grow. This is why we should care. We are responsible for providing an accepting and safe environment to allow each other to belong, to feel secure, and to grow. The truth is, a sense of belonging doesn't necessarily mean finding someone who is like you, whether it is the color of your skin, the language you speak, or the beliefs you espouse. On the contrary, as third culture kids and other culturally mixed individuals will tell you, even birds of a feather will turn against you if you sing a different song. The truth is, a sense of belonging is really about acceptance. We must all look past our differences and even past our commonalities to ensure that we provide a secure environment where everyone can belong. As the socio-political boundaries of our world continue to blur and our real-time communication with one another crosses time zones and geographic spaces, it has become more urgent to provide the sense of belonging. This is more than just a call to merely accept others as they are, but also to develop attitudes and skills that are necessary to communicate effectively with everyone. While we cannot expect everyone to be the same, we also cannot resign to the idea that there are essential differences. We must work hard to identify common human values and experiences and to use these to bring us together. As individuals who identify as culturally mixed, we possess the ability and life experiences to expedite this process. With our knowledge of crossing cultural boundaries, we can provide a good example of what it means to accept others and how good it can feel to have a sense of belonging. I challenge you to provide this example, even with just one person. Your action will be vital to the development of another human being and of our community as a whole.